We are going to go over some moves that are going to be great for you and your hips. All right, so we talked a lot about some loosening up of the hips, but how to loosen up hips that are already technically loose or flexible will be a good way on trying to control it. So I'm going to have you experience the 90-90 hip mobility training. So imagine 90 degrees of both legs, except one hip is going to rotate out. We call that our external rotation, and the other hip is going to rotate in. So therefore called internal rotation. And then over time, your goal is to try to sit down both butt bones to the floor. And it takes a little time. And so you're situated, trying to find a comfortable position in here. Start to orient your chest in line towards that front knee. All right, so this is going to be our focus leg to begin. So we're going to emphasize the outside hip muscle work. So begin with some support, so a little bit passive stretch. So do your best to keep your straight line spine. As you brace your stomach in, your legs are steady and heavy to the floor. Don't let your legs move as you let your body lift up. So we'll go through this about 3, 4, 5 times. Really, the main goal is, can you start to feel just a little bit of tension on the outside of the hip? So really still emphasize a steady spine on your lower and a steady spine here up on your lift. Just one more. And up. Okay, so from here, let's bring ourselves upright. And our goal will be that our body is still able to have that same control down and up, but this time without our hands. Okay, so stay here. Let's get engaged. And then from here, slow yourself down. So your legs are going to have to work harder, pressing a little bit more to the floor to stop you from collapsing. So don't round in your back. Keep your chest up, straight line spine down and up. And really, it's okay if it's just an inch or two, right? You should feel that muscle working out here. And then up. And a few more. A lot of it is brain training. So it's you being thoughtful and deliberate with where you are controlling from. Two more. And breathing. Inhale and exhale. And then keeping those muscles engaged on your next time that you go down. So a total about 3, 4, 5 times. Hold and breathe for 4, 3, 2, and 1, right? A lot of effort there. And we're going to bring our spine up, and then we're going to shift our focus towards the back leg. So without coming out of that orientation that you're already in, right? Chest in line with this front knee, you're going to bring your hands back. And then try not to lift your chest up too soon, right? Keep your ribs in. We're going to add just a little bit of a tension here on this back leg. So I'm going to have you just stay where you are. I'm going to change my orientation. You can also see from the side view. So we're upright. Okay, we're going to have a nice tall lift of the spine. Keep those ribs in, but right here at your pelvis and your low back, you're going to just add a small little tuck. That way you're not over jammed up into your spine. So just a little tuck, and you're going to have to hold that with your muscles. And then you can start to lean back, but the whole spine is all together. The whole spine is together, right? Don't start to arch and extend, right? Keep those ribs in. Start to have that tuck. You're really feeling that yummy tension stretch around your thigh, around the top of that hip socket. And we're going to stay and breathe, keeping activation in our core for 3, 2, 1. We're going to add to this. So keep your spine really straight and steady, small elbow bends, just to what you can still control. And back up. What it should feel like is that you're intensifying that tension in this hip because you're still bracing your spine to be steady as you bring your body back and up. And 2, and up, and into our last. and up. All right. So we're going to keep those legs steady again. Straight line spine, still in line with that knee here. Bring your body forward, hands completely in front with support of your hands, with your body weight onto your hands. All right, so as always, we brace. This time we're going to try to create movement into this hip socket here. So find a little butt cheek muscle. You're going to tighten up your tummy and lift. It could be a very small movement. What can happen is that we'll lift and start to rock forward, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're getting it. But really, you want to be a lot more stable and thoughtful, and almost potentially cramping. So just make sure you're breathing through. So everything is roughly around 3, 4, or 5 good quality repetitions. And then I like to always add an extra hold at the top. So here we go. And hold for 4, 3, 2, and 1. And hopefully you felt butt muscle work. All right, so come up. I'm going to have you try some transitional work and just see how that feels for your body. Use your hands as much as you need to as we go through this process. You're going to let your inside knee, that knee that's rotating in, be the leader. It's going to lift up. Okay, so lift up. Use your hand to support your body weight. See how this feels, right? So that's having your entire hip joint having to isolate and be all on its own to open up. And once you feel like, yep, that's about it, I can't go anymore, then that other leg is going to also follow. So your goal is they are as far as physically possible as you come all the way over, and then magically in your 90-90 in your other side. Voila. Hopefully that was fun. All right, so here we go. Still in this side position, I'm going to put you through the process. Front leg first, back leg second. Okay, so nice and tall. Let's get ourselves oriented so about the middle of our chest is in line with that knee. And then our legs are heavy as much as we can, grounded butt bones towards the floor. Hands are going to go down lightly, fingertip support, stomach in, straight line spine, right? So don't let that chest come down. Chest stays lifted, just that entire torso is coming down. And then your goal is bringing awareness of that outside hip. So outer hip tension as you bring your spine down towards your thigh. Maybe feel it a little bit and come out, right? So this is your passive range, right? The range that you have available with an external force. So our force is gravity and our weight. We can really get into that hip, no problem. All right, so we're gonna go up, and now we're gonna work on our active range. So can our muscles against gravity without external force get us in that same depth? And for most people, beginning, no, and that's why we're doing this. So here we go. Legs are heavy and steady, down with a little bit more energy. Arms out, both of them, T arms. Square off your chest to that front knee. Brace your stomach. Inhale and exhale. Right, it's okay if it's just an inch. And continue to stay in control. Don't let your legs rock. And inhale. And exhale. Maybe start to quiver, shake, right? Those muscles are supposed to be near maximum effort over time because you're trying to find the range that you can control. And back up. And as you do this, try to not let your legs rock back and forth, right? They are down, 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 both legs. Outer butt muscle, hopefully on into your last. So go down, hold, and breathe. Inhale and exhale for 3, 2, and 1. And press yourself out with your muscles of your spine and your leg. Ooh-wee. All right. So we're going to go back just completely upright, trying to emphasize lengthen the spine, right? This position is very challenging for some already. And then add a little bit of that tuck, just a small tuck. Okay, and then you're thinking of like length in the back, but then does that tuck already intensify the top of this hip here? And your goal is that your ribs stay in, your whole spine is nice and one piece. So really rigid and still breathing. And just shift your weight back on your hands. All right, so just hanging out here, kind of seeing at what depth you can go. That's comfortable enough that we can still breathe, that we can still brace our spine. Inhale and exhale. And then we add to it. So keeping that tuck and brace of the spine, your legs are steady. Small elbow bends as an option, right? So for some, this is about it, and then they go back up. For others, this is about it, and then they come forward. So you find your slack and tension, right? So find your elbow bend if possible to intensify just the outer hip and come up. And inhale and exhale, right? There's a lot of effort trying to keep our body steady as we hinge our straight line spine down for 2, and 1. For some people, this feels good. For some people, it's just so tight, so we're not sure. All right, and then keep your body up, up, up. Whew. All right, don't let those legs move. Don't come out of them. We're going to keep our legs steady and heavy, and then hands are down. So now we bear our weight on our hands. Our goal, again, as always, same song, hold this together. We are not letting it go yet. And then can we emphasize, find it, little butt muscle group here. Can it create movement just at that thigh bone to swivel in, knee into the floor, foot goes up. And again, try not to rock and let it go into our spine, right? You're still trying to hold your pelvis together, but then just at your hip socket, getting that little lift. And swivel, swivel, swivel. Start to intensify. For 2, and 1. Can we go for that hold here? For 4, 3, 2, and 1, and up. All right, lift yourself up. I'm going to have you try some floor transferring back and forth and see if that's even available for you today. But if not, know that it's available for you in the future just by practice. Find a range that your body, your knees, your hips can do. So starting with this internally rotated leg, let that come up. See if you can be smooth through that full rotation and range block. Nothing's left. Other leg comes along. Both knees as far as physically apart as possible as we transfer. And then we come over, and then you just orient chest to knee and use your hands as much as you need to. A lot of times we fall back here in that center, right? And that's just a function that our spine needs just additional muscular support to stay upright. So in the beginning, use those hands. Lift your spine, lift your spine, lift your spine. And over time, maybe start to hover and just be minimal with your fingers, right? So all muscular support. Good. All right, so come back in through center and then get yourself oriented either with your floor that you have enough space to lie head to toe, and then bring yourself down. So a fun game to play is a slow, controlled lower. 3, 2, 1. All right, bring it all the way in. Feet together, knees together. Inhale, lift. Into that bridge. Exhale, lower. And again, inhale, lift. Your goal is a straight line, shoulder, hips, and knee. Try to get a stretch in the front of your thighs and roll it down. Your 2 legs are super tight, side by side, no space in between. Inhale, press through your arms. Exhale, bring it down. Another 2, almost there. Into our last. So you're going to go up and stay. Hips are super high. Don't let those butt muscles drop as your knees pull apart and your inner thighs bring you right back. Okay, keep that straight line. And again, inhale and exhale. You might be potentially cramping into your hamstrings or your butt cheeks, and that's good. Turning muscles on. Take a break when you need to and get right back into it for another 2. And 1. And top of your spine, roll it down 1 bone at a time. Bring those knees into your chest. Let it rock side to side. Lengthen out those legs. Point and flex of your feet. Ooh, for 3 and 2 and 1. All right. Promised you a short video, so that was that. More to come if you are ready and willing. I'll see you next time.